Just a second. Oh, it's a doozy, so wait till you hear it. But first, LeBron James, shot clock winding down, does that.
Yeah, the Cavs lost this game.
Okay.
I'm going to mention that because I don't know what these first highlights are, but I bet it's going to be a lot of LeBron, and it's going to be just noteworthy that despite all this we're about to see, the Cavs lost this game. Badly. Embarrassingly. Sorry, sir.
This was an amazing shot right here. I mean, great defense by Marcus Smart. Unstoppable shot.
That was nice of the Cavs actually drawing out of time.
You know, you were right. More LeBron. Nice pass to cutting K-Love. 2 of only 3 Cavs in double figures last night.
For those criticizing Ty Lue, this is out of a timeout. Great call by him. One of the favorite plays out of a timeout. One of the hardest passes in basketball. You only see one guy doing it. His name's LBJ. Yeah. Or his initials LBJ.
Yeah, close enough.
Well,
smart move by Terry Rozier here.
Play. Go, Nick.
I mean, Terry Rozier knows who's following him, and he knows I better not lay this thing up. And Scary Terry goes and gets it, man. Hell of a play by him.
Yeah, Terry Rozier, he not having the type of series we've seen him have in the first series or in the second round, but when they need a big shot, they need a big stop, Terry Rozier's there to make a play.
And a big little third quarter burst from him to help the Celtics cut into the deficit and then take the lead.
18 points for Terry Rozier last night. Hey, you know, sometimes the grass isn't always greener over there. Sometimes the grass is actually better right here. Just ask Eagles' outspoken and spirited lineman Lane Johnson. He's tired of people assuming the strict Patriot way is better than the looser Eagles way. Lane stopped by our show last week to chat about life as the defending Super Bowl champs. He called the Patriots, quote, a fear-based organization. Yesterday, he doubled down on those comments. Take a listen.
Here's what pissed me off is, you know, the Patriots, obviously, you know, I respect their coach, I respect Bill, I respect Tom Brady. But just because the way they won the Super Bowls, the Patriot way, is that how everybody else is supposed to do the same thing? No, it's not. And that's what I got mad at the arrogance by them. You know, there's obviously some stuff behind closed doors. You know, their owner talked to our owner. Bill talked to our head coach for the game. You know, I'm not going to say it, but, you know, a lot of kind of built up to that. And I just got tired of hearing about it, man. To be honest, you know.
There are a lot of beeps in that. He sounds angry. He sounds a little bit frustrated. He had a lot to say about it.
No, Lane's fired guy. Lane's fired up. And I couldn't believe, I don't want to say I couldn't believe. I was taken aback by the owner talked trash to our owner, the coach talked trash to our coach.
It was obviously something he heard. He specifically said, Bill said something to Doug. I mean, he obviously knew that there was something said before the game started.
I would just say that the reputation of the Patriots around the league, not a lot of people in love with the Patriots. But I don't mind that. They don't like the way they do business. There is a certain amount of arrogance with teams who are successful. There's a certain amount of arrogance and confidence that the Patriots have. I believe there's a proper mixture of both, because everything that they've won in the NFL, they've earned it. Like, they've earned it. Like, he's coached up these players. They have made the plays. They make more plays in big games than the rest of the team. So if that's part of the Patriot way, that's what they do. In critical situations, they play those better than anyone else. And at some point, if I'm Lane, because I got to respect, there's a lot of intel that goes on in the NFL that's not public knowledge. He started letting you know about that. That's the first time we heard about the owner. If there was something between the Eagles owner and the Patriots owner, it's not the first time we've heard about there was maybe a conversation between Bill Belichick and Doug Peterson before the game that Lane is obviously seeing it as disrespectful. But it's May. You're Super Bowl champs. You got to stop talking about last season and start talking about your team. You got to start concentrating on what the Eagles need to do to defend Super Bowl 52. The Patriots aren't worried about the Eagles. They're not talking about you. And you shouldn't be talking about the Patriots. And from a respect standpoint, I heard that then. You put that in there as a disqualifier. Oh, I respect them. Well, I ask you, Lane, if you respect the NFL, get on to the business of the NFL. You are the Super Bowl champs. You do not have to keep addressing the New England Patriots. You don't have to you can cut off the question. You control these interviews. Lane likes being part of the media. It's kind of new to him. He needs to understand that. Patriot questions right now, they're irrelevant. It's about me and my teammates, and if you want to ask any question about them, I'm willing to address those.
All right, let me just ask you real quick a follow-up on this, because when I heard Jeff Lurie allegedly said something, talked trash to Robert Kraft, and Bill Belichick allegedly talked trash to Doug Peterson, it felt to me like something that right before a Super Bowl or in the week leading up to it, a coach throws in as extra motivation, whether it's accurate or not. And their owner said this to our guy, and you won't believe what Belichick said to me. When I mentioned that to you before the show, you said that can't be the case, that you can't make up that type of lie, so to speak, just to motivate your players.
Yeah, players are smart enough. Players see through things, and players expect you to be honest with them. There's enough things going around the Super Bowl that they didn't have to create. Players don't need to be motivated in the biggest game of their life, especially when it's the Eagles going against the Patriots. The Eagles knew what they were up against.
And the Patriots, do they care? They don't. The Patriots, part of the Patriot way is carrying themselves on some semblance of a proverbial perch, if you will, that they don't listen. They don't need to be motivated by words. They don't clip headlines. They don't care who likes them or don't like them, because if they did, I don't think this would be the path that would have drawn them such success.
That's always the response from pro athletes. They don't care. They don't listen.
You think they care?
Well,
the Patriots?
I know this. I'm not guessing. I watched Tom versus Time. Tom's hearing what people are saying because he's saying stuff to contradict what people are saying. I know they're human. I know the players, even though Belichick would like to perform a certain way, the other players, I know a lot of the players play for their team. The players hate the fact that Belichick gets all the credit. Like we never talk about New England, how good their players are. Oh, it's only Gronk, it's only Brady, and it's Belichick. Those are the only players that they have. The players there, they do care.
There was something else Lane Johnson said in this, though, that I do think is instructive and interesting for the 30 teams that aren't the Patriots or the Eagles, for any team that's going to play the Patriots. And he made the point that he felt like a lot of teams are beat before they, halfway beat, he put it, before they take the field against New England. That the Patriot mystique, the aura of Tom Brady, that it gets in their head and that they don't play their very best game. And Lane Johnson, his point was, man, I'm not going to play a single snap against Tom Brady. I'm focused on their defense. He said, I didn't think their defense was that great. He talked about the yards they were then able to accumulate on the defense. I do think that's noteworthy for other teams. And I also personally am rooting. I know people think I'm not an Eagles, that I'm against the Eagles because I picked against them last year, but I am rooting for the Eagles to have sustained success. Because this Lane Johnson stuff, even if you think it's now too far into the offseason, it's much more fun as a football fan than the Patriot way. It's much more interesting than we're focused on Cincinnati, we're focused on Baltimore, we're moving on to the next week. It is more fun to have some of the soap opera stuff, and if they can be successful despite it, or maybe not just despite it, but in part because of it, that could be good for the NFL.
As Denny Green would tell us, we're paid handsomely to play professional football. It's not high school. It is not college, and people expect a professional performance. It's about playing well. So when I'm not rooting for any team. I'm rooting for good football. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if the guys can be quote machines. I don't care if the guys can't say anything. However you can put a good football team together, and I know there's many different ways you can do it. But in the last 30 years in my association with the NFL, there's been no one more successful than the Patriot way. So I respect that because it's won out over time.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Coming up, can Aaron Rodgers play until he's 40? That seems to be a theme amongst NFL